Hello, Record Hunter here. Cheers. Today I am drinking Jungle Bliggy by Mars Brewery. And today I'm going to talk to you about punk rock. Let's talk about some punk bands that came out and put out records before the first Ramones album. And I'm excluding any the garage stuff from the 60s and like Los Secos or the Sonics or any bands that may have had like a punk song but weren't really like a punk band. They're just kind of like more aggressive rock and roll. I'm excluding those bands, and I'm just going to show you bands that I believe that either were punk rock before the Ramones or definitely were true prototype punk bands. So here's the first Ramones record. Blitzkrieg Bop, Beat on the Brat, Chainsaw, classic album from 1976. Also, I have to mention, I believe that the Stranglers may have had a single out before the first Ramones record, but the Ramones were around for a couple of years before that. And we'll get to that in a moment. And I'll explain why. Patti Smith. This came out in 1975. And this is Horses. She does a great cover of Gloria. And she has a really good song on here called Free Money. This was the other ones I pulled out of the plastic. I left this one in the plastic because the record's coming out here. The sleeve's a little messed up. But this was my mom's record, and she gave this to me when I was a kid. So when I started listening to punk in like 86, that's about 80, I think like 86, she gave it to me. I was either like 14 or 15. So here's another record that people don't talk too much about. This is the Dictators with Go Girl Crazy. Handsome Dick Manitoba, the singer. And I guess he was a wrestler before that. And this is a great album that people don't talk too much. The next big thing, California Sun, a cover of California Sun. This is really good. Two Tub Man. Not the Two Tub Man that's on the punk rock box set, which is the better of the songs, but Two Tub Man is on this record. And this is from 1975. Okay. The band we're going to talk about now is the band who kind of started punk rock. And I always heard this was the very first punk band. It's the New York Dolls. I bought this at Cruise Music in like 1986 when I was a kid. I think I paid like $1.25 for it. It was used. And it had the first and second record on it, which I'm about to show you. Here's the second record. And Too Much Too Soon. There's a really great song called Puss in Boots on here that I really like a lot, but it's nothing compared to the first record. The first album is superb. But these guys went and toured in England in 1973 or 4. I'm not sure if it was on this record or the first album, but because of them, all kinds of bands started popping up. And that's why one of the bands, the Stranglers, I say, is just one, the Sex Pistols. All these bands started forming right after the New York Dolls played England. And then even more bands did the same thing after the Ramones played through England. And then here is the first New York Dolls record. This is an awesome record, man. Highly suggest, if you're not familiar with New York Dolls, to listen to Personality Crisis, Trashed, or Frankenstein. And unfortunately, David Johansen just passed away. Rest in peace. Now there is no more no living doll left. Lydia and I were fortunate, Lydia, my DJ partner, Lydia Vomito, which we do a radio show called Release the Hounds every first and third Monday on Lumpin' Radio, 10 p.m. Central Time in Chicago. plug in a radio show while doing the video. But like we got to hang out with them. It was really cool. So they played the David Johansen and Sylvain came to the Metro, and I think it was the guitar player also of Hanoi Rocks, and then they had somebody else playing drums, and so we met them right after the Metro show, just because Lydia's huge New York Dolls fan, probably one of her favorite bands of all time. We met them afterwards. Then we went down the street to a place called Raw Bar, and we're sitting there, and the guitar player of Hanoi Rocks walks in, and he's like, "Oh, hey, we just met them," you know. And he walks in, and he's at the bar. We're at the bar, and Sylvain walks in. He's talking to us, and they went and sat at a table, and they said, "Hey, would you like to join us at the table?" So we went and sat at the table. Then here comes David Johansen and the rest. Here comes the rest of the band, and we're hanging out at the New York Dolls and just BSing, and it was good time, good memory. I'm gonna miss David Johansen. It's good memory. But this record came out in 1973, predating the Ramones' first album. Okay, now this next record I am going to show you. I believe this is truly the first punk record. And I see people like say the Ramones was the first punk band, but this is truly the first punk record and truly the first punk band. Here's Iggy Pop and the Stooges with Raw Power. I meant he's screaming at the top of his lungs. He Search and Destroy, Give Me Danger, Raw Power. I'm a cheetah with a heart full of napalm. I'm a runaway train with a nuclear A-bomb. And the lyrics were just, they're in your face. He's screaming it out. At this time, nothing was like this. This is definitely the first punk album. And then, since I showed you that, I might as well show you the, did I say 73? There's a 71. Might have been 71. No, 73. I was right. 73. Yeah. I was just thinking that because I'm about to show you the other two Stooges albums, because why not? They're a little more psychedelic, but they are in-your-face records. Definitely like the Doors times 10 or something, So here's the Stooges with Funhouse. It's from 1970. And maybe some of these lyrics are pretty hardcore too. Like for Now I Want to Be Your Dog, 1969. It's from 1969, the first Stooges album. Yeah, this is kind of punky. This is like these two records kind of have a few like punk songs on them, like I was saying. But the Iggy and the Stooges Raw Power album, definitely punk rock album all the way through. So 1969. All right, now I'm going to show MC5. I did not look at a year on this, but I do know it came out before the Ramones record. And this is High Times. I believe this is their second album. And this is a good record. I'll be honest, I don't listen to this one as much as all the other records. I listened to this after Wayne Kramer died, to be honest. And I met Wayne Kramer a couple times. I met him a long time ago at the Metro. And then I met him at the Museum of Contemporary Arts. When was that? Probably like 2014, 2015. And that's a shame that he's gone too. All the members of MC5 were gone too. So, and 1968, Kick Out the Jams, yeah, 1968, Kick Out the Jams, MC5. Ramblin' Rose is great too. I picked this one up used, and when the singer died, somebody cut out the article and put it inside the record. So it was kind of a kind of a cool little thing that people used to do, things like that. So yeah, Ramblin' Rose is a great song too. Well, that's my 5 bands, 5 punk bands, or pre-punk, proto-punk, punk bands that came up before the Ramones and put records out. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was kind of a short one, but I'll catch you next time when the hunt is on. Cheers. Please like and subscribe. See ya from the Record Hunter. Cheers.